When Buhari sent security forces to houses of Supreme Court judges, they found tons of money. Osuntokun said, "Yeah, we remember when they were raiding the house of judges and the justices, and they found so much money in some of their houses, and a lot of people complained in Nigeria that they were infringing on their privacy. But we know that the kind of money they stashed in their houses, there's no way the entitlement could have given them such money, if not for money coming from corruption cases. Okay, that is why it was a very difficult one. So Akin Osuntokun is bringing Nigerians memory lane, bringing Nigerians memory back again, or taking Nigerians through that memory lane of how that issue was handled. And some people were like shouting down on Buhari on that matter. We know that corruption in Nigeria is everywhere, has eaten into every fabric of our country, both the judiciary, the security agencies, the politicians, the executives, and the legislators, everybody, all of them, even the political parties themselves and the party leaders. Corruption is everywhere. But again, let's dive into the details to see exactly what Akin Osuntokun is trying to tell us. Akin Osuntokun, a former political advisor to former President Olusegun Obasanjo, an ex-director general of the Labour Party Presidential Campaign Council, has expressed his concerns about the Nigerian judiciary and its integrity. So during an interview with The Sun, Osuntokun referred to an incident during former President Buhari's government where security forces invaded the homes of some Supreme Court justices and discovered significant amounts of money in various currencies. He stated that although Buhari's tactics was questionable, the exposed details from this incident provided a solid foundation for scrutinizing the judiciary. He suggested that this event contributed to allegations of corruption and bias within the judiciary, leading to doubts about its role as the last hope for the common man. Of course, that there's a doubt in that hope. The judiciary is no longer the last hope of a common man as far as Nigeria is concerned. In Osuntokun's words, we may question the tactics of President Buhari, but when Buhari sent security forces to houses of Supreme Court judges, you can recall all that was discovered. They found tons of money in different currencies. There are justifications to indict the Nigerian judiciary of bias, corruption, and of sacrificing justice. Can we, in all honesty, say today, as we used to say it confidently before, that judiciary is the last hope of the common man, with all the indiscriminate, selective, disappointing, and frightening judgments being delivered? No. No. So what Osuntokun is trying to say here is that we have enough evidences to indict the judiciary, to investigate them, and to scrutinize their activities. Because the way it is now, the kind of money that were discovered or that was discovered in the coffers of the judges during Buhari time actually was more than their entitlement, and in different currencies. So how could they have slipped investigation? So we can actually question the approach that Buhari adopted, but again, that approach also brought out a lot of evidences against the judiciary to prove that the Nigerian judiciary is corrupt and can never be or remain the last hope of the common man as far as Nigeria is concerned. So with all of these, he's asking the question, can we boldly today, confidently say that judiciary is the last hope of the common man like we used to say before? And I think the answer is no. We can't say that anymore. Having seen the way the judiciary has perverted judgment in the country. The judgment now is for the highest bidder. Justice is now for the highest bidder. Justice is for the rich, and then the poor is to be punished. And that is why a small person will steal small money in the market. They will quickly make the judgment, and in a matter of hours, they will sentence the person. But the legislator, the judiciary, and the executives, all the people in government, they are stealing, and the politicians are stealing, and they use the money they have stolen from Nigeria to buy justice from the judiciary, which is a very bad situation. Of course, judiciary today is finished. It's no longer the last hope of a common man as far as Nigeria is concerned. Already, people are reacting to what Akin Osuntokun is saying about the state of the judiciary. Let's hear some people. As some say, Nigerian judiciary are the most corrupt judiciary in the whole world. Their logo is the highest bidder takes it all. That is their logo. And somebody say it is so heartening, so disheartening that justice is no longer based on facts, but who can pay for it with tons of Ghana must go money. Of course, with tons of Ghana must go carrying cash. And so the judiciary in Nigeria is a failed system, and that is it. Judiciary in Nigeria is a failed system. Sometimes I hate it when people still talk about that deaf and dead Buhari. He was the worst tribal president in Nigeria. He was arrogant. This guy is just insulting somebody. Now, wow, there are some words that we don't intend to share. And somebody is asking him, "Are you still in pains?" Of course, Nigeria is in pain. Buhari came with hypocrisy, arrogance, and pride to work, but ended up being the worst human in Nigeria, a terrible leader. It's a shame. That is it, it's a shame. He wanted to use that to compromise the judges at the end, and he became worst corrupt regime because he lacked the capacity to govern the country for 8 years. Exactly. So after all the graduation, yet Buhari and his government recorded the worst corruption in Nigerian history. And we remember that when Buhari was coming in, he came on the mantra of fighting corruption. He said he was going to fight corruption. In the first 1 year, he could not do it. He was blaming the 16 years of PDP. Okay, he couldn't do it. In the second year or third year, he started saying that corruption was fighting back. And then in the fourth year and into his second term, of course, he became incapacitated. He was not even in Nigeria to fight the corruption. He was always in the UK for his health. And then, ruling Nigeria from abroad. A very terrible situation. So we know that he came hypocritically to fight corruption, but ended up being the most nepotistic and most corrupt president in the history of Nigeria for now. We don't know how probably Tinubu will beat Buhari's record in terms of nepotism and corruption. All right. So much terrible as it is, a corrupt judiciary is the scariest thing that has befallen Nigeria and Nigerians. Serious purge and rediscovery is the only way to Nigeria's healing. We have no country. I know somebody say here, the judiciary is dead. Judiciary is dead. So thank you for listening. And let's have a comment. That is what is coming from Akin Osuntokun, a Labour Party chieftain.